Let me just make a few, maybe 45 minutes or so of closing comments. I actually thought we would read The Other America from start to finish. What do you think? It's stood the test of time. Anyway, I want to thank all of the panelists. This panel is, as well as all the others. I think we've had a wonderful set of discussions today that I think we can all learn from. Hard to sort of pull it together into a conclusion. I won't really try, except to say a few things. One is we clearly have a situation that is tremendously challenging in terms of dealing with poverty and with poverty in the new economy as we understand it in the United States. It is both appalling and shame-inducing, and also extremely complicated in terms of dealing with it. So it's not just let's wag our finger a little more and it'll all happen. I did find it interesting that there was a lot of consensus among the panelists who didn't necessarily agree on everything about what has worked, what programs from the War on Poverty really have worked, what have been shown not to work or have been made not to work over time. I think the successes of food stamps and their earned income tax credits were really impressive, and I certainly learned some things from that. I don't think I really understood quite as well as I should have with the disappearance of TANF and cash supports and how little of a difference that has made. A huge takeaway for me has been the blurring or the blending of the issues of poverty and low-wage work. It's clear that the real issue in this economy is no longer there's a set of non-working poor. There is an economy that doesn't provide jobs that people can use to get out of poverty, and so all of that becomes a complex that needs to be dealt with. And I thought some of the most really interesting things were the discussions about wage supports and family supports and low-wage work interventions that need to happen. Clearly, the whole issue in this panel of education, especially early childhood education, and what that can mean, is huge and enormous. And lastly, just that the issue of politics was shot through the entire day. The real question is whether we, as a country, are prepared to commit the kind of energy and political will and resources and time and commitment to making this happen. And that leads to the last couple of things to say. One is I have a message from the Friends of the American Prospect, and that is that there are, if anybody wants bulk orders of these, they're available for free. We have plenty. So if you just contact the American Prospect, they might ask you to pay for the shipping and postage, but other than that, good to go. Secondly, I really want to go back to the DataViz issue that I mentioned before. www.trackingpovertyandpolicy.org. Obviously today's proceedings will be available on the web of all of the partnering organizations, but there's a lot of information there that's there for the taking. And the last takeaway is simply one thing, and that is that the whole point, boiled down, stripped down, of doing this conference, of doing this special issue, is that this is an issue that needs to be kept on the national agenda. And if there's one takeaway, it is that for me and for everybody, not to lose sight of it, not to kind of accept the disappearance of the issue of poverty from the political debate, and to keep it going until we solve it, which will probably be another 50 years at least. And that's a good way to end of saying thank you to Michael Harrington for making this happen and for doing this kind of work. Thanks for coming. Enjoy. Class is dismissed.
Go in peace, the mass is ended.
Thanks.
Thank you, Miles.
Yeah, you're probably still mic'd, but that was terrific. You know a lot of stuff that was really interesting.